Hello, my geek fam. I'm answering here one of your most recent requests. So today back to more classical painters as we will see the life and style of Caravaggio and of course try to reproduce the same effect in 7 easy steps. Hi guys, we have now reached the milestone of 10,000 subscribers. Thanks a lot because it is all thanks to you. No, not you. You haven't subscribed yet. So please go and do it now. Seriously, a big thank you to all for your participation on this channel. You guys are giving me ideas in the comments. You are sharing my videos with your friends. You are more and more to subscribe. I even heard that some teachers in the USA show my little videos to their students. I am humbled. Thank you very much for all this love. Please continue because it gives me motivation to give you more and more content. Also, I love it when you post your art on social media with the hashtag #MGFCPaint because I can see what my little advice are taking a life on their own in your hands. Just like Paolo Fontes, who did this very nice portrait, full of tenderness. Eu realmente gosto dessa pintura, muito bem, meu amigo. So, without further ado, let's plunge into the life and style of Caravaggio. I love the Baroque style because, well, first of all, it's a period of art that I know quite well, more than contemporary art, to be honest. And second, I always find new secrets and new information every time I study. It's a bit like meeting an old friend who still holds some secrets from you.
Oh, Caravaggio the Hobbit.
A good morn to you, Gigdalf, my favorite art forger in the Shire. We haven't seen each other in eons.
You don't say.
But please, come inside for some refreshments. You have had a long journey.
Oh, my old friend. I'm bringing a marvelous brandy from Northern Eriador that you should try.
Excellent. It brings back so many good memories.
Talking about memories, do you remember you promised me to teach me your painting techniques?
I have written everything in this book. My precious!
Michelangelo Merisi da Caravaggio, known simply as Caravaggio, was a 16th and 17th century Italian Baroque painter. He was born on September 29, 1571 in Milan, Italy. And his life was marked by artistic brilliance, personal turmoil, and a significant impact on the development of Baroque art. Caravaggio's early life was fraught with difficulties. He lost his father at an early age and began working as an apprentice to a painter in Milan. His formative years as an artist took place in Rome, where he arrived in his early 20s in the bustling art scene of Rome. Caravaggio quickly gained a reputation for his unique style and innovative approach to painting. Caravaggio is best known for his naturalistic chiaroscuro style, characterized by the dramatic use of light and shadow. His works often depicted religious and mythological subjects, and he was a master at capturing the raw emotional intensity of his subjects. His groundbreaking style, often referred to as tenebrism, was marked by a sharp contrast between light and dark, creating a sense of depth and drama that was unprecedented in his time. Caravaggio's career was punctuated by both artistic success and personal strife. He received numerous commissions from the Catholic Church, producing some of his most iconic religious paintings, including the Calling of St. Matthew, the Supper at Emmaus, and the Crucifixion of St. Peter. However, his volatile temperament and frequent involvement in brawls and legal troubles made him a controversial figure. He was even arrested for blasphemy and was suspected by the church for being a homosexual. In 1606, Caravaggio's life took a dark turn when he was involved in a fatal brawl in Rome. Fleeing the city, he found refuge in Naples, Malta, and Sicily, where he continued to paint. Despite the challenges he faced, his later work continues to exhibit his mastery of light and shadow and his ability to evoke powerful emotions. Caravaggio died under mysterious circumstances in 1610 at the age of 38 in Porto Ercole, Italy. His tumultuous life and revolutionary artistic contribution left an enduring legacy. Caravaggio's influence on the Baroque movement was profound, and his innovative techniques inspired countless artists in the centuries that followed. Today, Caravaggio is celebrated as one of the greatest painters in art history, and his works continue to captivate art enthusiasts and scholars around the world. So, based on this, we will be looking for a mythological subject with strong lights and shadows, ideally a chiaroscuro. So, Caravaggio was famous for his religious and mythological subjects. I was particularly interested in this version of Buckus, the Roman god of wine, and I did a little sketch to see where I was going. So, as usual, I asked my eldest son to pose for some reference photos. A few bed sheets, a wig and a leaf crown, a bowl of fruit and a wine glass and decanter in the tree. Thinking about it, I should have added more flowers, but well, I didn't think of it at the time. This is the usual step you know about. Not only it gives a tonality to the painting, it also allows you to see your colors better than on a stark white background, and finally you avoid white playing peekaboo between the brush strokes. I chose a mix of burnt sienna, yellow ochre and Venetian red to do it. You don't need to be precious about it. Just cover your whole canvas to get an atmospheric tint. Caravaggio was actually not sketching much on his paintings. Some classic painters used to do a fully detailed sketch in charcoal with shadows and all before starting the brushwork. But Caravaggio, in order to save time for his models, was simply scratching a quick position of the figure with a pointy stick. This allowed him to work on his composition and see where everything would go later. Only then he would take paint and trace the detail of the model. Once again, directly. It is a method I have experienced in Japan, where our teacher told us to start at the point of our choice and base all the rest from that point, looking out for the angles and the proportions. At that time, you can also start marking your shadows and fill them with the same color. For me, it was burnt sienna. Ah, the grisaille. We saw some version of it in the video about Rembrandt. For Caravaggio, it is more or less the same principle. You focus on the lights and dark, not the colors. With white and burnt sienna, you come and precisely mark all of your shadows, reflection, planes, curves to give the contrast and the illusion of 3 dimensions. You can help yourself with a black and white version of your reference photo. You are basically making a monochromatic version of your final painting. This has to be very precise and detailed. The shadows are what gave Caravaggio his distinct style. Think in layers and detach them from each other as much as possible. Try to avoid making big impasses here because they wouldn't be covered by the next step. To bring more nuance and smoothness, you can repeat this step 2 or 3 times. Wait for everything to dry and let's go to the next one. Once we have all the lights and shadows, we can go to the colors. This technique was devised at the time because of the cost of color paint, especially red, yellow, and blue, compared to black, brown, and white. Using the colors in washes instead of thick layers allowed the painters to save a lot of paint and therefore money. With translucent washes, you come and apply the colors, skin tone for the body, blue for the bed sheets, etc., etc. The grisaille still shines through the colored layer and will give the volume to your surface. Of course, if something changes color, I'm thinking about the nose or the face that are a bit redder than the rest of the body, this is the moment to add. You can also superimpose different washes to achieve the same effect. A translucent blue and a translucent yellow will give you the illusion of green, etc., etc. For example, in my case, for the white toga, I went with a blue wash and a brown wash over it. This gave me a grayish hue close to the shadows on a white bedsheet. Be careful about this because some pigments are more translucent than others. Art supply brands sometimes write it on the tube or the pot, but some don't. So maybe do some tests before. You don't want to hide all your efforts done in the design. We have lost a bit of contrast in the previous step. As much as we try it, a layer of paint is never really translucent. This is good because it gave us a kind of smoothing effect for the gradients, going from light to dark. But for the really bright or the really dark, we have lost a bit of depth. That is no problem because with white and dark color, I use burnt sienna again, but black can be applied as it was used in the Baroque period. You can come and emphasize on the contrast to really give the appearance of 3D. Remember that Caravaggio was famous for his chiaroscuro, so this means bright lights and dark shadows. It's also time to paint the small details, the vein on the leaves, the spots on the pears, etc., etc. Finally, take a step back. Look at what is working and what is not, in general. You can adjust some colors. For example, I found the body too red compared to the whole painting, so I added a wash of light yellow ochre over it. You can add small detail. You forgot thought about or that will help bring balance to your composition. This is your time to correct, adjust, and sometimes hide your crimes. Caravaggio was working every detail very minutely, painting every speck of dust on his subject. I confess that I find this to dilute the focus on a painting and that there should be some zones that are less worked than others. But that is me. It's your canvas and you are the master there. So, there we go. We have a beautiful depiction of Buckus in the style of Caravaggio. Finally, but this is my personal preference again, I applied a thick layer of water-based varnish with a spoonful of instant coffee to age the paint. Have fun doing yours. Don't forget to post it on social media with the hashtag MGFCPaint so I can see it. Subscribe and let me know in the comment which painter we should try next. See you guys and have fun. Cheers!